payment when I haven't even got the first. So I'm definitely going to address that today. Okay, according to the IRS and the Treasury, over 80 million Americans have received their stimulus money. That means over 50% of us have not. My family, for example, has still not received money, even though we qualified and have filed taxes and paid taxes for over a decade now. So the first round was supposedly for just those who had filed their 2018 or 2019 taxes. If you are on social benefit programs, more likely than not, you have not received any money. As of April 20th, so just 3 days ago, the IRS publicly stated that Social Security recipients will receive their money soon. How very vague of you, IRS. Soon. What does soon mean? Well, I'm hoping, based on other areas, this means that you should start seeing money within about a week. So, SSI and VA recipients, you are now being told to expect money the first week of May. So, sorry, got to be a little bit more patient, but at least now they've publicly said something about SSI and VA. Now that additional money has been approved for small businesses through the PPP and also the EIDL program, Congress can now start to seriously discuss what they're going to do to help Americans get through this situation. As they continue to keep us in lockdown, it's going to be more important than ever that Congress come up with some kind of feasible plan to help us, right? So the two programs that are gaining the most traction right now are the free rent or no mortgage payment for 6 to 12 months program, or the second is to send every citizen that makes under $130,000 as an individual or under $260,000 as a couple, $2,000 a month for the next 6 months or however long the program is needed. So which program would help you most? Not having to worry about your housing expenses for 6 months to a year, or having $2,000 a month show up while you get back to work and while you pay off debts and get through this unprecedented situation that we've been in. Please leave a comment. I'm curious what would help people the most. Also, by the way, if you've received money, will you just leave a comment below and maybe what channel you went through, what channels you went through to get that money? With half of the country not receiving money, many people are frustrated. I know I am. But a percentage of people are starting to think that this is just a scam. So will you just give some hope by sharing if you've received your money or not? Okay, so here's what needs to happen in order for a bill to be passed. The House will have to discuss the options and then fight over it back and forth, see what they want to slip in. And then it will go up for a vote. If it passes, that will then be sent over to the Senate, where they will then discuss and put it to a vote, and then it will be sent to President Trump to be signed. So that's kind of the steps. Now, when we first went into lockdown, the expectation was this would be maybe 14 days and that this $1,200 would help. They now know, and those that have received the money, and especially us that have not received the money, they know that $1,200 is simply not going to cut it. During this time frame, over 20 million Americans have been laid off, and I know many people who are not being laid off, but are having their pay cut, and this is stressful, and I'm sorry for everybody that's going through that. We just got to get through this, you guys. So the longer this takes, the more likely that we are not going through a recession, but are headed for a second depression. The government needs to do something to get money flowing to families so that they can spend it with businesses that can then hire people and pay them so that more money flows to families. And it's a positive cycle that needs to happen. I know a lot of people are worried about how are we going to pay for this amount of money? And my answer is, I don't know. It could be higher taxes. I don't know, but I do know this. Many Americans are suffering, and $1,200 is not enough, especially with no time frame on when they're going to reopen the economy. It's just crazy. Okay, Paper checks will start going out for the first round of stimulus money starting on May 1st. And the schedule as of right now is to mail checks to families with the lowest income all the way up to families that had higher income. So those paper checks will start as of May 1st. And again, from lower income up to higher income. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking it. It's the only way that YouTube will share it so that we can increase our community. So that's the end of my update. I just want to get personal for a minute. Based on your comments, I know that many of you are scared. I know many of you are feeling stress and anxiety like you've never felt before. Please just breathe. Keep your head up. Believe that things can and will get better. I don't know how, I don't know when, but just please keep believing that will happen. I want you to